Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. So today the first thing we want to do is to talk about this warning. This is something that Professor Cynical has brought up. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, I have some noises here in the back and you must have seen me go wild about this. Sorry about that. Anyways, the first thing we need to talk about is this warning. Before we go into any glitching and anything, um, and this will be a glitching tutorial. The warning is pretty simple. Um, uh, Basically, what we know is that there is a griefer, somebody who's been going around asking people to join their game. And once they join their game, what we see is that they are invited to go together to some place, mostly doing some Nexus missions, and it turns out that people immediately get start to take damage, and they die and respawn, die and respawn, die and respawn multiple times in a pretty quick succession. Um, we're not sure exactly what this is what is actually going on. I don't want to name any names, but if you come to my Discord server, what you'll see is that there are some discussions about this. There are people who mentioned they've had this. This has actually happened in two different ways. One way is generally in the anomaly, getting lots and lots of invites from somebody. So right now, until we solve this, don't accept invites from people you don't know. Okay? You can you can be in multiplayer, just don't accept invites. And if you see that for some reason you get joined somehow, I mean that shouldn't be possible to happen. We don't know what this griefer is doing, but we do know that they have some abilities that are a little beyond what the normal game let you do. So uh, if you see a case where somebody who wasn't your friend is suddenly a part of your group, uh, uh, disable multiplayer and please come to the Discord server and let us know. There's an invite in the description already. And this video, not gonna watch this video now with you or anything. This is Professor Cynical's video, and it's very important. And yes, it is very concerning what's going on. So literally, what you should do is either disable multiplayer, definitely disable PvP. And of course, if you're not sure how to do this, come to our Discord server, ask on the general help, and we will help you out. Now, I have to commend a few of my Discord server staff members. Some of them have decided that they are going to try and catch this griefer in the act. Now, I'm not going to say anything about who this is or how they're going to do that. They have a kind of a plan. We don't know if it'll work, but we do know that this has been reported on the official No Man's Sky Discord, and it looks like there wasn't too much of a response. We don't have proper proof, like recordings of anybody or anything, and therefore we cannot report this on Zendesk. Okay, we definitely don't want to report something if we are not, if we aren't the target of an attack, a direct recipient of this attack. There are all kinds of rumors going on, but for the time being, let's stay safe by disabling multiplayer or at least not accepting uh, invitations from anybody else. Okay, let's load the game, and I'll load into my creative save file, and let's see. Right. Okay. Anybody watching, you're free to comment. And again, both the link to this video by Professor Cynical and the invite to the Discord server are both ready for you in the description already. Okay, so I'm going to go to this planet. This is the planet where I built a lighthouse, and later today there will be, or tomorrow, depending on when you are in the world, there will be a new video coming out, probably about 8 or 10 hours from now. I think it's scheduled, about building a lighthouse in No Man's Sky. Okay, so what? How come I'm underwater? Where's my ship? Okay, let's just summon my ship.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
Right, and okay, so this planet is pretty much very watery, although it's not completely a water planet. Oh, I was really close to my base. So what I want to do is, okay, let's first of all, let's see if we can show some. We're going to practice something here. So I need to do this. Does this show? Yeah, I think it shows. This shows the wire glitch. Okay, and it's going to disappear. Okay, anybody watching the stream, this is the first time I'm practicing with these keys that show the key combinations. Please comment if you were able to see this thing. Let me do the wire glitch again. Yep, looks like it's working on my end. Anybody in the comments wants to say something, that'll be appreciated. So here I am on this base, and I'm going to redo what I did here. Okay, let's delete this area, but the one thing that I want to show you is this. Okay? So basically, I have here a hexagon, right? And it has a wire connector smack in the middle of the hexagon. Now, if I go and try to build another hexagon, right, let's add another hexagon here somewhere. Okay, take a triangle. Oop, wrong place. Let's make this hexagon. This one could be bigger. Okay. One of the typical ways to put a wire connector in the middle of a part would be to use what's called the reverse wire glitch. Okay, wire glitch and reverse wire glitch are actually the same thing. It depends on where you start. So, what is exactly the wire glitch? The wire glitch basically says that I can take a part that normally doesn't want to go somewhere, Okay, for example, let's say that I have a battery, okay, and the battery always wants to be vertical like this. Okay, if I want to place it in a different orientation for some reason, not that I have a good reason for that at the moment, but let's say, so let's say I have this part here, okay, and if I wanted to place the battery to sit not vertical, but in a diagonal way on here, okay, what I can do is switch to wire, and now I don't know. Yep, this thing. Okay. I can do. Oh, that didn't work. Hang on a second. Man, I feel clumsy. I keep forgetting that this wire glitch thing doesn't show on my screen. So I'll take the battery, I'll switch to wire. Right. This is the key to switch to wire, and I've switched. Okay. And now I'll use the wire glitch, which we already know is this. Right. So I'm going to press Q and the place part because I'm on PC, and I'm going to do this in really short succession. Sometimes it doesn't work automatically, but now you can see that the battery is already diagonal. Okay, I can't place it though. There. Okay, it also got really weird colors. Let's fix that. Okay, we do this again. Switch to wire and place. There. There should be a little bit, just a tiny bit of preference to the switch to wire. So if you're doing it with Q and a mouse button, you press Q and the mouse button and you press the Q just a tiny bit of time before.
Incoming storm.
Just a tiny bit before. Okay? Let me place another battery just next to it so we can see what the game says about this. Okay, so obviously the normal battery doesn't work this way. So this is the wire glitch. Now the thing is, if I wanted to have, okay, let's delete those because they're not that interesting. If I wanted to have a wire that is located in a specific point, like in the middle of where this rectangle is, I can do the wire glitch again, right? Okay, and when I do that, what I get is a wire. You can see it. It starts in the middle of the where that used to be, where that panel used to be. So I've placed that wire, but if you look at it, this wire is problematic. Why? Because it starts at this height, but you can see it traversing through the triangle and coming up and ending on top. That means this wire is not perfectly vertical. Okay. Also, I'm not sure that it is vertical in this axis either. For example, if I take a timber wall, okay, and I try to place it here, again, I'll be doing the wire glitch, right? Yeah, that didn't work. The idea is that when you have a connector, you can switch to wire, snap to a connector, and do the wire glitch. Okay. Now this looks okay, but you can see it's not at the exact center. Plus, if I place a wall, like here, and another one like that, and let's look at it from the side, you can see that these two diverge a little bit. Okay, they're not perfect. That's because that connector, this one, isn't really vertical. Okay? So let's delete those. And first let's learn how to make a connector that is really vertical, that is really perfectly aligned. The trick here is pretty simple. We're going to be using two floor panels and a power door. Sorry, a power door. I placed the power door here, and I'm going to be using those keys again. Now I want one connector. I want it to be right here, in here in the middle. And what I do is I delete this part. I go and look at this thing, duplicate. I press the key to duplicate, place it here. But instead of placing the part, I'm going to do the wire glitch again, right? Reminder. The wire glitch. And I have a wire that starts right there. This is actually what's called the reverse wire glitch, because we're starting from a part and getting a wire. Okay? And if you're starting from a part, moving to a wire and glitching and using the wire glitch, what's going to happen is that you'll have that part located exactly where the wire connector was. And sometimes that's very useful. However, placing one in the middle of a hexagon is a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to attach it here. Now notice that we have two connectors. It doesn't matter which one you do. Both of them will work the same, really. Okay. The video that I'm showing today is going to show it connecting to the near one. Let's do it with the far one, because it's just to show that it's the same. Okay. Now this connector looks fine, except that it is diagonal compared to the door, right? It is vertical in this axis. Oh, nice one. All right. Okay, now the next thing we do is we go back to edit mode, we duplicate this part and place it on top here, back to edit mode, delete this part, now duplicate this panel, and again we're going to do a wire glitch. Oops, that didn't work. That sometimes happens. Okay, now we have a wire, and now I connect this wire to this one right there. What that does is that now we have these two connectors, and this one is smack in the middle and perfectly aligned. Now the big question is, can I do the same thing and somehow have the wire connector here in the center? Not that easy. Okay, let me show you. Okay, let's delete these things. Right. So the first thought that I had when I tried to do this, I'm going to build camera again, was to take a floor panel and see what happens. Okay. Theoretically, I could be putting the power door here somewhere, right? I could be putting the power door here and try to do this. But now what happens is this. If I let's remove all the parts except for one, so we can always return and build it. Or actually, we can even duplicate this part, place it here, and know that we can delete this one and just start the hexagon from this direction. But the thing is, if I duplicate this thing, you can already see that the middle of this part is not going to be where we want that thing, right? Another thing we can do is what's called the adjacency glitch. Okay, adjacency glitch happens when you're looking at a part, okay, and you're going to use the key to switch to the next part, cycle part, and place it at the same time with a slight preference to the cycle part. Okay, if I do this with a floor panel, I'll get the small floor panel. Let me show you. Right, I can do this, and right, this is the adjacency glitch. Okay, so it already switched me to this, but I don't want these here. What I want is to do this. Now that has placed a small rectangle or small floor panel where at the exact same middle as the large floor panel would have been. But now if you look at this, okay, this shows you where the connector would be. So if I now wire glitch, I have a wire, but that wire is not at the center point, which is here. So this requires some how to say, a little bit more, I don't know what the right word here is. We need to be a little bit more shrewd or something, right? So basically, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a floor panel, take another floor panel here. Now I'm going to use something else. I'm going to use a paving. The large paving has an interesting feature. Okay, it is not the same size as the floor panels. And I noticed that if I place three pavings from here, that ends up smack in the middle. Right? You can see that, right? That's exactly where we need it. So now what we need is actually, we need a power door to get that perfectly vertical connector, right? Again, remove that part, duplicate, place here, and wire glitch. Connect it to one of the connectors, back to edit mode, duplicate, place here. And now I can remove this part, and instead of doing like before that I duplicate and wire glitch here, instead I'll go and place a paving. Right, let's place the paving here, a second one here, and now I'll wire glitch. Oops, that sometimes happens, of course, and connect it all the way there. Now I can delete these parts. Now you can't delete this wire because that wire is the one that we needed, right? That is the one that has the connector that we need. Now I can recomplete the hexagon, delete this thing, we have a hexagon, and at the end, when we don't need the wire anymore, we can delete it. But for now, what can we do with this thing? Well, one thing that you can do is take a thin timber wall, okay, if you want, and place it not here and not there, but I'll switch to wire. Okay. Switch to wire. Okay. And I take the wire and I snap it onto the connector. Well, it doesn't want to snap. What do you know? That sometimes happens, but you just need to move a little bit and it'll snap. Oh, snap. Now I'm going to use the wire glitch again, and there we have it. Okay. Reminder, wire glitch.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Yeah. This is a pretty stormy planet. By the way, it's supposed to be a grassy planet, which makes sense for a lighthouse. And don't worry, you'll see the lighthouse in the video later today. Hang on a second. I think I lost my. One second, please. Right. Hey, Cynical. Oh, nice to have you on stream. I started the stream by telling about your video with the warning about the griefer, in case you missed it. It was a very important video. You can later watch the stream to see what else I said. Yeah, it was a very, very important video, and one of my Discord staff members brought this to my attention pretty soon after. And thank you again, Rocker. All right, so now we have this thing right here in the middle. Okay, let me show you a couple of other things you can do with the adjacency glitch. Okay, and just to remind, the adjacency glitch is this. Okay, you press these keys. Okay? Another thing you can do with the adjacency glitch, and by the way, I just recently got my white GGF shirt. You can find it on my store if you like. Anyways, another really nice thing you can do with the adjacency glitch is this. Okay, let's say that you've built a you've built yourself a building, and one of the things that you have here is a door. Okay, and you want some stairs. You want stairs, they'll go here. Okay, and they are wide stairs. There's no way to put a half stair in the right place. However, notice that the half ramp is the one adjacent. It's the one next to the timber ramp. That means that I can do this. I can take the ramp, place it in the proper position, and using the adjacency glitch, I get the half ramp where the full ramp was wanted to be. Now you can do this. You can use this to make a 3/4 ramp if you really want to, right? Okay, you can duplicate this there and there, and now we can recreate the facade or entrance in the right place. There we go.
Storm clearing.
So now that means anything that you can build that you want that is adjacent to where you need it in the build menu, you can definitely use the adjacency glitch for. Now, I'm pretty short on time here. I'll just show one last thing with the adjacency glitch because it is such a useful thing, right? One of the things that I sometimes like to do is to use a short timber wall, but I want it in the middle. Okay? And again, the solution is to take the one just before it, place it here, and adjacency glitch, and now we have it right here in the middle. Now, let's say that you wanted to have this one, this type here. Well, not difficult. Just place it, place this one here, delete this one, duplicate this one, remove. That's it. That is the adjacency glitch. Okay. Another thing that's pretty useful with the wire glitch, okay, is if you wanted to make like a circle of chairs or anything. Okay. Let's say that we have an obelisk here in the middle, but what we can do, right, is we can take a chair, for example, the upholstered chair. We can switch to wire mode, snap to the connector right here in the middle, pull the wire, right, and then switch back. Now what happens is this looks normal, but if I start to move, you'll notice that the chair is tethered to the wire that would have been. Okay? That way, I can place a chair here, take another chair, switch to wire, snap to the middle, start pulling the wire, switch back, and place. Take another chair, switch to wire, snap, start the wire, switch back, etc. And this will make for a very nice. And the only thing that you need to take care of is that it's the right distance. That's it. Well, I need to finish this now. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you learned something. Another video about this lighthouse is coming out today, later. And again, many, many thanks. Oh, Tyrexi, thank you so much. Didn't notice. And again, thanks so much to Professor Cynical for bringing to our attention this griefer thing. And I don't know if my staff members will be able to. Oh, Tyrexi, come on, you shouldn't have. Thank you. Um, thank you very much to Professor Snickle for bringing that griefer to our attention, and let's hope that my staff members will be able to catch this guy in the act somehow. I don't know if they will, but if they will, then we'll let you all know. Thank you very much, and see you.